Welcome back, Birdman Drug Stories special episode on this Thursday night drug cast, bringing it to you live drug stories here from North Carolina all the way out to Tennessee. We got Cree from Tennessee. What's up, man?
Welcome.
Welcome. Did you stream this to your channel too? I said it so you could if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah, I went ahead and did that as a courtesy.
We're not only live here on Birdman Drug Story, we're live on Cree 901. So welcome back to another episode. Now Thursday night's been it's a good day for you to do videos. It's your day off tonight or tomorrow?
Yes, thank God I finally got here.
Yeah, so Thursday is always a good night for us to hop on live and get something popping. We had a couple things I was thinking about talking about, but I had the title made up all day in my head. Actually, I thought of the title last night because we were talking about it on the stream last night. I had Big Weevy on. Shout out to Big Weevy YouTube channel. And it's like a bigger channel. Got like 10,000 subs. And he came on, and it was a really good show and everything. But the drug stories, we're trading back and forth, going with the drug stories. You know how we do it. And I told him what this an old connect I had. It was actually one of my friend's moms, like from back home. And man, she probably been selling crack since like the 70s. Not probably not since like the 80s. You know what I mean? Since crack was a thing, she was probably out there selling it. But when we had met her, she would sell crack. She sold coke, and she would get prescriptions of pills. So it was just the type of person that I wanted around when I was doing all the drugs in the drug days. So long story short, I was working at a dealership back home, and it was like Thursday night. It was like tonight. Welcome back. It was a Thursday night. So on Thursday night, I got paid on Friday, and I was like, oh, I get paid tomorrow. I was like, can you just front me some coke? I think I was trying to get a pill fronted or something. And she told me, she looked at me because I thought I had a chance because I had bought stuff off her plenty of times cash. I never asked for a front. I never asked for any type of consignment. And this is the first time I was asking her, and I'd also made lots of cash purchases with her, so I figured she would definitely do it. My heart was set on it. I was like, she'll definitely do it. I see her all the time. She wants to keep a happy customer. But she looked me dead in my eye, and she went from happy-go-lucky, crack dealing friend's mom lady to real stern. And she goes, hey, nobody's going to pay for yesterday's high. She goes, come by tomorrow after you get your check. And she dropped the mic. It was fucking wild. I respected it. I went back the next day. I got paid. I went back there and I fucking, got some coke and got some pills. But I learned a valuable lesson that day that nobody wants to pay for yesterday's high. Ain't that true, Cree? Have you ever found yourself in a situation where, when you're in the drug life, maybe you owed someone money, but you only had enough money left to either buy more drugs or to pay back the person that you got maybe a front from the night before? Did you ever find yourself in any situations like that?
No, but that is a very interesting topic you have going on because I have a question. At what point, when the dealer becomes Capital One, do you begin to start your credit? I mean, do you have to make a few things go down before they trust you, like they build trust?
I mean, lots of the times, yeah. Most of the time now, if I'm back in my hometown area like I was, if I'm in my hometown area, most of the people that are hustling and stuff, I know from it's a smaller area. Everybody knows everybody. So I known some of these people most of their lives. So, and that's what you would do. Even if I didn't know them, if I didn't know them at all from a hole in the wall and I started getting stuff from them, then I'd make some cash purchases, and then, it wouldn't take too long for me to need a front. I'd run out of money for my dealership money. I would need a front to get me through till payday. It was the same merry-go-round. But lots of times payday would come around and I'd be like, damn, I was like, I took too much credit this week. And I was like, and the amount of credit I took, if I pay all that credit back, how am I going to get high for this upcoming week? So, and that goes back to what that lady was saying, which was nobody wants to pay for yesterday's high, which is plenty of times I found myself with a paycheck, all right, I owe this much money for a paycheck, but if I pay him back, I'm not going to have really any money left to get anything else. And you know what decision I made 10 times out of 10? I always would kick the can down the road, kick the problem down the road, and just I'd want to go get the more drugs. I never was I'm going to pay him back, and then maybe they'll front me again. I did have sometimes relationships with some dealers where they were all right, Bird. They would know. They'd be like, all right, Bird, you owe me $30 tomorrow, man. Pay me at 30. I'll front you another one if you need it, but don't run off. And lots of times they would know that would be a case. They would tell you up front, to if you find yourself in that position to come on in, right, and they'll front you another one. So I had a couple people that were like that, but eventually they got burned too. Eventually I just, I was like, fuck it, that's just how the drug life kind of went.
Yeah, it's kind of dicey because it's like once they start doing fronts, it's all in the trust of word of mouth. And like you said, if you've done burned or smoked half your checkup by payday, and then you're like, well, what am I going to do the rest of the week? It's kind of like, do you just stay in front land to where, all right, Bird, we're now getting into this weekend, and you're pretty much owing me your next week's paycheck. At some point, they have to stop, right? Or does it just get more and more brutal to where
Well, this brings a
even the
this brings
dealers
a
are
really
getting fucked? They're
this
like,
brings a
fuck,
really
I
good
can't
story
work
on. Now
right now.
I'm friends with this person to this current day. He's in recovery. He's actually has more clean time than I have, and everything like that. So he actually helped get me into recovery when I got out of jail because I didn't know what to do, and he'd already been like in recovery for a while. But me and him were friends for a long time. We were good kids together. Then we turned to the drug life together. We did lots of drugs. He ended up, being a good pill connect for the OxyContins back in the day. He would sell coke. He would sell weed. He would sell all this shit. And this was like one of my best friends. It's actually one of my best friends, like younger brother. So he's like 2 or 3 years younger than me. And I was like best friends with his older brother, who was like a year older than me. Anyways, these are like some tough Irish kids from my hometown area, and one of them got me like into the recovery zone. But before that, when we were in the street life, he was like my pill dealer. And I remember I was renting like a room for rent. It was like a house share, but this was in like Springfield, Mass. So I found this ad on Craigslist on somewhere to live because I was getting evicted from the 2-bedroom apartment I had in Chicopee, Mass. Then I found a place on Craigslist that I could pay weekly at. And I was a junkie, so I needed to basically get like a weekly paycheck because I would blow all my money. I would never save up X amount of dollars to stack it up for the end of the month to pay rent. I wouldn't do it that way. I would need to be in a place I have to pay weekly, and even that was tough for me. And I would sometimes spend the money and not have it. Anyways, so my boy, who I'm getting pills from all the time, he had a good credit line going with me. He knew I would work. I was working at the dealership. Sometimes he would even like pick me up and give me a ride to work because I didn't have a car at this time. He'd give me a ride to work. He'd front me pills, and on payday, you're right, I would kind of tally up what we had. We had like a running tab, like, all right, how much do you owe me this? It could be like, a couple $100 or whatever. And we kept doing this like over and over again, but it always get more. It started off as like I owe him like between $30 and $80. But as time went on, now I'm owing him between like 200 and 300. If you have a bad week at the dealership, you might not have a big check. So some weeks were good. You did a home run check and you have a fat check. And some weeks you'd have a terrible check. So as time went on, I basically ran up the largest tab I had ever owed him. And mind you, as he's like fronting me pills, as we're doing pills together, we're also coming by. He was selling weed too. So he'd roll up joints. He'd like come hang out. We'd be on the couch, like sniffing OCs and smoking joints, going to a gas station, whatever, just living like the high life. You know what I mean? But not Miller high life, like Birdman drugstore's high life. We're sitting there doing pills and oxys every day, and we're fucking and we're smoking weed. And the dude who owned the house also lived there. Fuck it, I'm not gonna say his last name because there's a million Charlies up there. This guy's name was Charlie, and we lived at. Charlie was the owner of the house, and he was the one that put that Craigslist ad out there, right? Room for rent, like maybe it was like $125 a week or some crazy crackhead shit going on. It was like cheap rent, but it was only like a room that you got for rent. So it was me, the guy that owned the house, and then another room for rent with another random person.
Hey, can I pause for a second? Hey,
Yeah.
Kay, what's up? I'm not sure if you're aware, but this is some new link streaming they're doing. Birdman's actually hosting this on his channel. So if you guys don't see me talking to you in the chat like that, it's because I can't. Like, I can only see what's coming up on the stream screen. But I
If I
want to say
highlight,
hey,
if I highlight it, you can see it.
yeah, you can. But I mean, I'm saying Kay, she's a mod on my channel.
Yeah,
She's got a wrench.
she's got a wrench. She's good. The wrench gang is out there.
Yeah. She probably don't know that this is on your channel live. So, guys, I'm not trying to ignore y'all or anything. I can't highlight anything, but good to see you, Kay. It's been a long time. Yeah. So, I feel like when it comes to the drug world, that is something excusably you're able to do fronts on, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword, like because they're gonna want that money. Do you
I
believe
didn't
there
get
should be
I didn't get
interest
to where the
involved?
shit gets crazy, Cree. We're not even at the shit gets crazy part. We're still at like the lead up right now.
But does your guy, does he want the exact amount back, or does he want interest, like as a
Listen,
favor?
no, he doesn't. He wanted to do interest. Sometimes I'd offer and be like, "Yo, if you front me a OC, which or a blues were 30, be like, listen, I'll pay you back 35. If I got desperate, I'd offer him an extra 5, and sometimes they would take it, sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes I would pay it, sometimes I wouldn't. But in this particular instance, we're doing like OCs, smoking weed, and he would come by and hang out with me and the house owner Charlie, who was renting the rooms out. And this dude Charlie had another property like out of state too, so he wouldn't be there a lot of the time. But when he was there, he liked my boy. And my boy would come by and he liked me because my boy would go there, and he didn't know we were doing pills and shit and selling pills and doing pills. He didn't know that. His brother was actually like a heroin addict back in the day, so he was like kind of against drugs, but he was a stoner. So we're sitting there, we'd smoke every day. So him and my boy Charlie, and then my boy, who's my friend from my hometown, like they got along real well because my boy would come by there and he would just smoke us up all the time. Really, Charlie don't know that my boy's going there and smoking us up all the time because he's basically getting like my paycheck every week or a good portion of it, or that's like his hustle is like getting in my paycheck. I go to work and he gets the paycheck. I just sells me pills, smokes us up. So my boy Charlie thought he was a man, like, oh, this is a good kid. He just comes by here and like smokes up joints all the time, smokes blunts. Like he never like asked me to like chip in or throw down. Like so Charlie liked him or whatnot, right? And then the house of cards and the other shoe is always going to drop. You know what I mean? And when the other shoe was going to drop was I found myself in a predicament, which was I could either pay my boy back, right, and have no money for pills for the upcoming week. I might have had some type of bill, or maybe rent got me something, got me for money. Maybe it might have been a coke vendor. I don't remember what happened with my money that week, but I remember that the amount of money I had left, if I paid my boy back, I would be on 0 pills. And I'm doing a couple pills a day every day. So I'm addicted to opiates at the time, doing pills every single day for years. So I can't just stop. I can't just take a week off from doing pills. If I could have done that, I would have. But when you're in the drug life, you never see a way out like that. You always think that you're just gonna be stuck in it. So I end up not being able to pay him, right? So we all know what the old dirty bird move that I do, which is I don't pay him back, right? I basically tell him I'm not paying him back and whatever. And so, like, it's my boy too. And like, I'm like, I ain't paying you, blah, blah. I may have some lame excuse why I wasn't paying him back. And he was fucking mad as hell. He's like, you're going to get yours, Bird. I'm like, whatever, man, bring it. So this motherfucker called my job, called like the dealership I worked at, started trying to like get me fired and shit, but that didn't work. Because I just told the dealership, like, oh, I got a crazy ex-girlfriend, probably one of her people trying to like, cause trouble. And then, so his plan didn't work. So what he did then was one day when I was at work, he went by the house. He went by Charlie's house, right? And no one was there. I don't know if he was going there looking for me, but I was at work when he went there. And I don't know if he was trying to get into the house. I don't know what he was up to, but he got so mad I wasn't there. There was like an outside porch window. And he got so mad, he either punched or he kicked the window or he threw some shit through the window and like smashed out the porch window, right? Because I owed him the money.
At the dealership?
No, at the house. Oh. I was at the dealership. He went to the house, maybe looking for me. We had beef and tension because I told him I wasn't paying him back for the pills and that he was out. So he went there and he wanted to like probably get me kicked out of the house. So he went there and was like, well, maybe if I fuck some shit up at the house, I'll just do a kick Bird out and I'll get my hands on him then. So he went there, smashed out the windows and everything. And I heard Charlie calling me, yo. He's like, yo. He's like, there's something going on at the house. And he was like, kind of interrogating me, but not really. He was trying to figure out what might have happened,
They're like, what'd you do?
I told him I didn't know anything.
I don't know, man. This guy.
I told him I had no idea. What was it? It was in Springfield. So now the house in Springfield is like not in a very nice neighborhood. There's plenty of crime out there in Springfield. So it wasn't in my hometown. It was in Springfield. So there's plenty of crime out there. So, it could have been anybody. It could have been some random crackhead walking down the street that wanted to do some property damage. It could have been anything. So I played off of that. What's up, Jersey Jeff? So I played off of that. And so eventually, what my boy takes it to the next level? Because he has Charlie's number because Charlie had maybe called him for some weed one day. He was like, hey, take my number. If you ever need any weed, feel free to call me. So my boy Charlie calls him up, right? And no, I mean, my boy calls up Charlie and tells him, listen, Bird owes me money. I'm the one that smashed out that window. I feel really bad. You're a good dude. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that Bird owes me his money, but I need that money because I think it was his re-up money. I think if I didn't pay him, he owed somebody else money. I was putting the press and the heat on him. So he had to get my money to pay his guys. So it's like a whole chain reaction of people owing each other money. And by me messing it up at this level, I'm messing everything up like above me, you know? So this dude tells Charlie that I owe him money and that he's the one that went there and smashed out the windows and he feels really bad. And he came over and he gave Charlie like a half ounce of weed for free for smashing out the window, yo. And Charlie was all right with that. And he wasn't even mad about it. He was just a cool, chill stoner type.
I'd say at this point, you went and smashed the window. That debt should be paid and cleared. I mean, you can't.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
I mean,
I
you've
never
done retaliated, so you can't really come back and say, "Hey, where's the money?" Because now I got to fix the window. You know.
Not only did I not pay the debt. Charlie also got free half ounce of bud. Granted, I don't think he ever fixed the window. He just let it stay broken and smoked the weed.
Yeah, it sucks that the problem kind of rolled over into the next person's issue because now they had some explaining to do. But you know, I guess it's just another one of these things that happen in this realm. I guess nothing does come good with drugs, huh? I mean, it's bad for your health. You see what it does to relationships.
Yeah, because this was my boy. This wasn't some scraggler that I didn't know, bro. I'd known him since we were kids, bro. I was best friends with his older brother, dude. Me and his older
sure
brother. I
right,
caught my
man.
first ever felony with his older brother back when I was like, 19. Caught my first felony when I was 19. Me and his older brother got in trouble for some dumb shit. Fucking. So it was like my boy. And like, but you know what? I was his boy. He was in the pill game too. So one time later on in life, he hit me with the okie doke. I made a rookie mistake and I gave him the money because I knew he had a connect. So he said he was going to see his connect. Comes back talking about he got robbed. I'm like, bro, I said you didn't get robbed. I'm like, you're trying to rob me. And then we had another falling out over that incident. So that's just the drug game because, you know, now that we're both clean and sober, like we're really tight and we, you know, our word means a lot to us now and stuff like that. But back in the day, it was all about the high, baby. He was trying to get over on me to get free pills. I was trying to get over on him to get free pills. You know why? Because there's never an amount of pills that was enough. You know, if I had 20 of them, I'd be like, I'm going to take one a day for 20 days. Like, that's not going to work out in the end. I'm going to take more. You know what I'm saying? It never adds up. The math ain't mathing with the junkie math. We got Homeless in America in the chat. What's up, Homeless in America? Checking in.
Salute.
5 years clean after 18 years dirty in the chat. So shout out to Shantae. 5 years clean's definitely a long time. So 18 years is a long time too. So you had a long drug road similar to myself, and now you have a long recovery road similar to myself. So congratulations on that. That's huge. Yeah, it's a losing battle, like chasing a ghost, because you never get enough drugs to satisfy me. You know, at least someone like me doesn't. You know, Cree, you didn't really have too bad of a drug problem, Cree. You had a stint where you kind of got into some shit you shouldn't have gotten into, but I mean, I got myself into like
By the
into
way, talk about full circle. You know, I'm just now getting statements in the mail about that little thing some years ago. It's time to pay the piper, Birdman.
and that's the thing too. Now as you get up there in age, now that I'm a damn 40-year-old bird, all that long-term drug abuse, man, like I'm hobbling around and shit. You know what I mean? You know, I look at drug addicts' years, like worse than dog years. You know, dog years is 1 year's 7 years. Mm-hmm. Junkie years, I think, is like 9. You know, so I'm like 9 times 40. I feel like I'm whatever 9 times 40 is.
Well, it's not a
perfect 360.
World, and I think there has to be breathing room for repair, and so, I mean, it's all just a process. I mean, like you said, you know. Whatever you do yesterday affects the next day. And so, you know, I think that's just how life is all the way the fuck around. But I think once you stop the BS, it stops that problem from rolling into the next day, you know. So, but it's so hard to, like, get that, you know.
You know, I wish I could get high, Cree. I wish I could get high in impunity. I have friends of mine. They're hardworking guys. They own houses and stuff like that, and they can party on a Friday night and go out and do a couple of lines of some really great coke and fucking, you know, they can do that and not completely just go on a vicious, you know, life altering run and like go to bed at a normal hour, wake up at a normal hour, go to work, handle your responsibilities. Like where me, if I was to do something like that, I don't have it in me to not completely crash and burn until the bitter end. Where a part of me is like jealous sometimes by real hardcore drug addicts. I was like, man, like I wish I could get high every once in a while, like X, Y, and Z do. You know, like they can get high with impunity and live their life and not go off the deep end. Like, why can't I? And then you start looking at it like, damn, yo, and that's bad to reminisce and wish I could get high every now and again. You figure I wouldn't have those thoughts, but I mean, I do sometimes. Sometimes I wish I could get high. It's just like I think every drug addict kind of can feel that to a certain degree.
Just just whenever you start feeling that way, remind yourself, what comes with that high. You're gonna wake up with the same problems, if not more, added. You done been down that road once. You see how you played that ride, so it's like now you got more at stake. So it's just, I know it's easier to say it than do it, but I mean, I think there is no underlining disclaimer that comes when you roll that joint or pop that pill or do whatever have you. It's like if the FDA could commercialize it, I'm sure there'd be stipulates added or something. But it's like when it comes to the street game, shit involved in that. I mean, the rules just kind of wave in and out, and it's really on the user, really, at this point.
Yeah. Hey, we got Weavy in the chat. Weavy was on last night. Cree, friend of the channel, Big Weavy. He was on last night. This was I'm gonna go with the
Saw
highlight.
That, but I didn't watch it. I need to go back and watch it.
I'm gonna tell you the highlight from last night's show. I still want to go back and watch it. Hit it with a little like, maybe a little comment too. But I'm gonna give you a highlight of it. Okay, you want a sneak preview highlight?
Sure.
It was my personal favorite highlight. It was about a 1 hour long stream. So, and this one stands out to me, and I know exactly where the highlight is, right? So we had drug talk for about an hour. Now we're like towards the end of the interview, right? And towards the end of the interview, we're talking about benzodiazepines and Xanax, and he's keeping it real. He goes, "Yo, Bird." I'm like, "What's up, man?" And we're like an hour into the stream. It's like towards the end of it. He goes, Can I keep it 100 with you? Can I keep it a buck? I said, yeah, man, that's what we do on Birdman Drug Stories. Keep it 100. What kind of question is that? Yeah, what do you got? And he's like, because we're talking about Xanax bars. And you know the story. You know the story about the Xanax bar story. I told him last night about where I took a couple of Xanax bars. And
do you want to pull it up? We can watch it real quick. Like if you know what spot it's in, we can pull it up and watch it real quick.
Oh man, I don't know exactly what spot it's in. I should have been better prepared with the highlight, but he just hopped in the chat and it triggered my mind.
Here, pull me up a window and
I'll make a short out of it. All right, I'll pull a window up. You gotta go in the backstage.
This is Weavy the Step. All right, here we go. Hang on. Let's see. Just tell me where
we're rocking a strawberry banana while we're in this. While we're figuring stuff out, strawberry banana nicotine vape. Hey, Weavy, what do you think my highlight of last night's show was? All right, because when I say it, you're gonna be like, "Damn, Bird, you're fucked up." But what do you think that my highlight, my favorite part of last night's show was, Weavy? Because we're about to try to pull it up here, but I don't know exactly where it's at. It's towards the end. We're talking about.
I got your video ready. Go ahead and pull it up, Birdman.
We were talking about Xanax bars. I told him a story why I crashed my coworker's truck in the unoccupied parked car, and then the cops came. Like I told him that whole story there last night. It was towards the end. We're talking about Xanax and stuff. Let me see if I can.
I figured out that I really like the Xanax a lot better, so I could come in and I could trade. A few 30s, bro, for a fucking ass ton of Xanax or whatever. Like that.
For sure,
tons of them. Like bars used to go for like $3 a piece here, and I'm charging the community that I post that are very close to me that I don't have to pay those kind of prices for stuff. Now there's just a limited amount when it comes to a certain point.
I think it's coming up soon.
I don't generally have to pay those prices if I have to pay anything sometimes. But but I don't. But it's not like this is an everyday thing. This is a once or twice a month thing, maybe, right? It's not. I'm not saying I do this every day. I think that's where people's getting. There's some confusion with that, or probably thinking. But no, this is I like.
It sounds like you can turn it off and on.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Because if I want.
Hey, Weavy, where you from, man? Tell us in the chat.
I think you're not a drug addict. I don't think you're a drug addict. I think you just are one of those few people you can turn it off and on. Likes to get really fucked up, but it sounds like you're not maybe an addict because I can't turn it on and off and take Xanax bars and shit once a month because I know I'd want to do it every day. And the fact that you don't want to do it every day or that you don't act on wanting to do it every day makes me think that you're just a guy that likes to party as opposed to like a stone cold drug addict.
That's nowadays, right? Back in the day, I was a stone cold.
When you were in full blown addiction, it was different.
Good God, 7 to 8. There's no market for those here.
Just getting high.
West Virginia. Okay, yeah, they're about better.
If you're including,
let's say what you're doing is retail.
Remember, I lived at my mother's house and I was making 6 figures a year at one point, right? So
you're doing drugs with most of those 6 figures.
Well, at a couple years in, right?
Yeah. Pause it. Great.
All right.
All right, ready? I'm gonna say what it is, so when it comes up, we can have a good laugh because I'm not sure exactly when it's about to pop up. But I know it's soon because we're on the track, right? We're talking about exactly where it's about to pop up. So we're talking about the Xanax shit, going back and forth with it, right? And he goes like this, "Yo, Bird, can I keep it 100 with you? Can I keep it $1?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, of course." You know, he goes, "I took about 9 Xanax bars before the show." Like, right, but I don't know if the number was 9, but it was like to me an extremely large, crazy amount because that's when I told him, I said, "That's a crazy amount." And I told him the story about when I took like 2 Xanax bars and did a little heroin high, nodded off at the wheel and crashed the car. But that shit, like, that was the highlight of the story because he's like, "Can I keep it 100?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I wasn't expecting y'all. I was like, "Damn." He came out of left field. He's like, I took 8 Xanax bars right before the show. And I was like, "Damn." I was like, "How are you still awake, yo?" Because I told him I would have been sleeping because I took a nap after 2. But I guess that's tolerant. Everybody's tolerance is different.
That, man. I seen like usually people start off lightweight. They take like 1, then 2, and they're able to drink. You know, Little Peep died that way. He was dropping little handfuls on his tongue, and that shit. Your tolerance grows. I'm sure it does because the more you're doing it, the more it takes, and so that I do believe. But that's
is there any drug that's not the case? Let's do a little drug history right here, Creed. Is there any drug that's not the case where you're tolerant? I think that your tolerance goes up for every drug that you do, even alcohol.
I think it does. Because it becomes part of your physiology, like as it becomes part of your diet and it changes the chemistry in your brain, like the dopamine levels, it's got to suffice and like add up to the missing from the day prior. And so the more you up your dose, the higher you get. You're like, okay, now I'm starting to get somewhere. But then as you're increasing that, you're starting to really burn your pockets up trying to catch that same high. So yeah, I'd say if you took a few days off here and there, it would work it back down. But yeah, the more you do, just the more it works it up because like I said, it just works its way in that system, you know.
All right, so y'all don't want to hear about tonight, Weavy? Yeah, we do. Damn, the link is in the chat, but I'd have to email Weavy the link. I do want to hear about tonight, Weavy. You know I do. Tell us in the chat what about tonight.
I'm a drug story success also, like a quitter.
What happened?
Does he run like a drug family channel that's about recovery?
It's not really recovery. It's not really recovery related. He talks about drug stuff on there too, but it's not like dedicated drug content like drug channels. But
yeah, come on, Weavy, come up.
I'd have to email him the link. I don't know how to do it from
him. The chat. There's links in the chat. Hey, whatever happened to that one guy from last week?
Dude, yeah, he hit me. I'm friends with him on Instagram now, yo. It's fun.
Shit, something or something. That was pretty good. Yeah. Okay,
yeah. So we're friends on Instagram. He hit me up the next day on Instagram. I fucking accepted his follow request or whatever. I followed him back or whatever. And then I think he even messaged me like, "Yo, this is so and so." I'm like, "What's up, man? Hope all is well." And that was the end of it.
Shantae, what's up? You want to come up and talk to us? Sean T.
Who's trying to promote?
I don't know. You got a fan.
Yeah, we got Weavy come. We have a little block party out. We got Weavy come up.
Yeah.
Weavy says, I like to get high. I don't promote it. Yeah, we're not promoting getting high, but he's just talking about he's not gonna come on my channel and if he's taking Xanax bars and be out here singing the Captain Recovery songs, right? So I
Well, you know,
respect that.
everybody, they get on here and they say, I got a positive channel. I'm talking about recovery. And it's like,
But
where's them
half of them are
channels where they're
getting
like,
high.
I'm
More than
still
half of
getting
them are getting
fucked
high.
up? You know what I mean?
Most of them are getting high. Like most of them are getting high, and not just like I'm talking
Yeah.
about getting high and some real shit behind the scenes, and you see it because they drop dead.
Yeah, I mean, you see
We've
me got a
had
beer right now. I ain't saying I'm a saint.
Yeah, but you're not.
I don't
You're
mark my
you're
business
drinking a
all over
beer right now, but
YouTube,
you're
but
not sitting here saying that you haven't had a beer in 6 months or whatever. Or you got the cure to not drinking beer as you drink a beer. That's the problem with the most of the channels that are out there is that they don't practice what they preach, and it's fake,
yeah.
and it's watered down, and it's fucking lame, and they don't swear on their fucking streams because they care too much about making fucking money. Fuck the YouTube monetization. Suck my fucking bird.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. My message is gonna be a real message from real life, spoken openly and freely. And whatever your story is, your story is. Everybody's story is different.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just whatever avenue.
Hey, that kind of makes sense now with Weavy because I was supposed to have Weavy on about a month ago, right? We got set up for the live. I sent them the link. He's backstage, and then he's just going like this that he can't hear me. You can't hear me. That people do. So he couldn't hear me, and I already hit the live button, right? Because I'm like, oh, you can just pop up. So we hit the live button, and then he when he was coming on, he couldn't hear me. So I canceled live. I deleted that one, and then it took us like a month to regroup and then do the stream again last night. I'm wondering how many Xanax he took the night where he turned the volume down and wonder why he couldn't hear me. Do you think the two are related? I'm saying there could be a chance.
Yeah, I think I am going to go live after this and talk about the Whitakers. We're going to talk about how Betty shit the money bed. Remember I was telling you about that before the show, Birdman?
Yeah.
Anybody out in the chat, do you all watch Soft White Underbelly or anything? That guy, Mark Leda.
No, Ryan Leone was on that channel before he died. And he was on. He did that. He did a couple of big channels. That was one of them. Who else has been on that channel? That's a big name that I would know, other than of course Leone because he's a drug stories.
Sharp the Pimp. A couple porn stars. Mike Dowd. He was a former corrupt New York City police officer. That was a really good one. Yeah, Kay, the Whitakers, man, they ain't getting shit no more.
Whitakers aren't they from West Virginia? The Whitakers?
Yeah, they're from Odd, West Virginia. But anyway, two things.
Yo, he says he lives near the Whitakers, bro. Weave, you gotta pull up. He says he lives near the Whitakers. Shut up. That's wild, bro.
Okay, look. You can't put thousands of dollars in the hands of that inbred family. For one, their intellect. They don't have no means of governing, spending it or saving it. So
how much more do you think they're getting?
Dude, Mark said he gave him $100,000 over the course of a couple of years. Okay. The scandal was he was trying to raise money on GoFundMe to get them a new house. But every time Mark would visit, he'd throw him a little band here and there, stuff like that. And true, yes, he did start improving their life and their life quality. But then all of a sudden, all the family starts coming out of the woodwork. They're wanting money Larry wrecked his truck and blah, blah, blah. So they were spending the money as they went along.
What were they spending it on?
Just crap. Flat screen TVs, new vehicles.
You think they were doing drugs? They had to be doing drugs. No?
Well, guys, we're going to do this when this is over and we go live on mine. We're going to watch Mark's video because I've been waiting a few days to do it. I've had to work. I work overnight now. Crazy hours. But it was very entertaining nonetheless. Mark said he's cutting them off. He is done. These poor people didn't even realize what they did wrong. And they're going to be like, Mark, we need some more money. Sorry, Betty. You guys fucked that up.
So this dude with the YouTube channel is paying the Whitakers money to have him on?
Yeah. They're kind of like a showcase, if you will. And yeah. See down in the chat, Shantae. These people, like I said, they don't have the mental capacity about money or how to save it or spend it. That's like giving a child a loaded gun. You don't know, anyway,
that'd be like giving me a bunch of money back in my drug using days. I'm gonna go out and blow all the money, be back knocking on your front door a week later, wanting more money.
Oh, the family came out of the woodwork when they started having some money come through. So it went from buying groceries and new clothes. So now they're getting new vehicles. There's new property being built, 4-wheelers. Like, you could tell they were splurging. They were living. These poor hillbillies up in the mountains had no clue, or was never going to be nothing. They were destined to be nothing until Mark come along to film them. And once he started making like a marketable entity off of them, it drew a lot of attention. So they're like overnight superstars to a degree. But some other YouTuber named something Oliveri or something, he did some kind of traveling shtick where he happened to stop by, and he asked Betty and them, "Well, what's up with the money with the house?" And she's like, in Mark's words, "I don't know." Well, Mark did a video where he does a rundown and explains like, "Hey, these people have been asking for the money. They're pulling from the tally every other few weeks, and it's like thousands at a time, and tax has to be paid on that. That's a lot of money coming and going." And so now I'm wondering if Mark's going to do this redemption show in about a month where he has what they call second thoughts, and then he hits them up. In reality, I think he's upset that someone else has tapped his resource. Now the Whitakers can be found on location. Mark has no control over the media reaching out to them, so they don't need him anymore. Does that make any sense? He may have cut him off from his channel as far as that, but they can now broaden their horizon. Yo, what's up, Weavy?
Hey, man. What's happening, y'all?
Back, Weavy.
Real quick, since he started talking about the Whitakers, I got to really kind of educate you.
Yo, let's go. We're all right. Sorry, Cree. We got someone that's from the Whitakers area right here.
Yeah, I gotta
Let us
hear
know
this.
about the.
Okay, so there's a channel named Vegas Profile Stories. Rick, he's one of my good friends. He come in to see me last summer. Okay, so I've lived around them my whole life, the Whitakers. So let's get to that, right?
Okay.
So, when I was in high school, we would go by there, and this is when there was still quite a bit more of the ones that are bad off. You know what I'm saying? We'll just say it that way. So they don't show the whole family, right? They just show the ones that are bad. There's about 5 or 6 more that live around them that they don't show, right?
Yeah.
Well, if y'all want to know where this money, because look, okay, in all reality, these people aren't hurting for money to start off with. They get about $7,000 to $8,000 in disability a month, just amongst the household.
Yeah, I've seen that. They all receive a disability check for everyone.
So, plus health care, plus food stamps. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I took Rick down there to meet him, right, we started talking. And we asked him how much, exactly Mark had given. So, because I know Mark too, right?
Yeah, that's right,
okay.
TNT.
I know Mark. So I was just curious, man. I was like, yo, I don't see much improvement going on around here, right? So me and Rick asked the question, where's all this money going? That we got the same answer. I don't know. The answer we got was, well, we got some siding on the house, the roofing, and we got and we got $3,000. Okay, that's what.
Okay,
that's what.
This Rick fella, are you talking about? He's the other channel that you had mentioned that went out there.
Yeah, Vegas Profile Stories. Now let me tell you how me and Rick come into this whole Tyler Olivier thing.
There?
Huh?
Do you know about the other guy that went over there?
This is me and him dead in the middle of this. Me and Vegas Profile Stories are. Okay, this is how this works.
Yeah, his name's Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler Olivier. So check this out. Rick's got a bigger channel than me, right? He's got about 20 more thousand subs than I do. So, roughly, maybe not, but anyway. So Tyler Olivier had seen a video with a short that Rick had put out, and we had probably 6-7 hours of footage between the two of us of the Whitakers, man. But
damn,
it had been a long time since I'd been down there, dude. And when you leave, if you're have any kind of if you have any kind of heart, man, your heart changes when you leave that place, bro. Because these are God's children. Say what you want about them.
I know what you mean by that, sir.
but
Yeah.
they are, and it changes your heart. And you're like, no, I can't release this. I released one short, and it was with Ray taking me up to the chicken coop to look at the chickens, right?
Oh wow.
So, uh, so Tyler Olivier hit Rick up, and I was Rick's in, so Rick hit me up, and he's like, hey, these people want to come in. I said, look, basically, and that Tyler guy wanted me to ask the Whitakers, if it's okay to come down there. And I'm like, before I even did it, I told him it probably wouldn't be a good idea. But I went ahead and just asked them, right? And they said, we'll have to think about it and call you back. Well, my phone call wasn't from them; it was from Mark later.
Oh wow.
And Mark later said, if you tell them if he wants to take care of the Whitakers and buy them a new house, yeah, go ahead and go visit them, right? Well, that's what I told him. And
well, Tyler said he now is going to run a GoFundMe.
Well, his GoFundMe, his GoFundMe's only up to 16,000, right? And about 80% of those donations, he took the comments down off of them, where this donation is in, honor of Mark or blah, 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 right? So they were just shitting on him in donations, on those donations, right? And, on behalf of Mark. And, it's okay. So the Whitakers, I don't know if they lied to us or just didn't have enough. The Kenneth and Betty, I don't think they lied to us, bro. They don't have the kind of mental capacity to
be manipulative.
Yeah, right. I don't think so.
I feel that. But
so, and who am I speaking to, man? I'm sorry, brother. I didn't get introduced to you. Okay, good to meet you. I'm Steve Weavy, whatever you want to call me. But anyway, so they got all these young guys there, man. And a couple of them I went to school with, that are strung straight out, and then they got the rest. They got a bunch of other youngins around.
What's
too.
up, Adam? Yeah.
What's up, Mark Adam? Good to see you, bro.
Mark did do an interview with one of the nephews or something. The guy
he did an interview with the Mo, with the C-Mo. He did the one that's leaning on the bike the whole time.
Yeah. That's the one.
Hey, I was down there passing out shrooms, bro, and I skipped him. He was he was sitting there like wait with his hand damn near out, and I was like, oh, all right, passed his ass. But so
have you ever partied with the Whitakers?
We sit and kind of partied with them there. You know what I mean? We went and bought Ray wanted a bunch of natty daddies, bro.
And you guys ever doing coke with them or anything like that?
No, I wasn't doing any blow or nothing with them. I would have, if they would have wanted a bump, I would have gave them one. But not none of the, the older ones with heart problems shit. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think it would affect Ray much. That motherfucker, he's something else, bro. But yo, look, but he's smarter than what people thinks he is.
Are you talking about the guy that barks? Like,
yeah. See, but after you're around him for a while, you understand what he's.
I'm sure if you're pointing at something.
Well, not even just pointing. It's the grunts for the yes, no's, the.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really weird, man.
Hey, check out what Kay said right here. I don't mean to cut you off, but I kind of have to. He says, that dude Mark has made a lot of money from desperate, underprivileged, and addicted people.
He is not a saint.
I don't feel like he's a saint. He gives me the creeps, to be honest. And what do you think about that?
Let me give you my honest opinion about Mark, right? I've been on the fence about Mark for a long time because I've been talking to him for a couple years, right? So he come in to interview me, right? When he was doing the Whitaker thing, not this past summer, but the summer before last. I was in the hospital at the time, so that got cut short. He's coming in this spring again, right? And he still wants to interview me, right? He wants to interview me about my trafficking days and my brother And
Yeah, you got into that last night.
yeah,
Rest in peace.
thank you, man. But anyway, Mark gives me weird vibes, bro. He really does, man.
And you were in contact with him, what, through Instagram or something?
No, bro. I emailed him, right? And this is before I knew anything about I knew he had done the one story about the Whitakers, but he had said something, or there was some kind of community post or something. If you wanted here's how to get a hold of me. And I told him, I might have a story that he wants to hear. So he said, send me a 20 second video. Give me a quick rundown of your story, right? So I did. He's like, okay, so you're down for interview. Not guaranteed to get shown. About like 1 out of 6 of his interviews get shown. So
1 out of 6 that he shoots actually get released.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not very good odds. I mean, I'd be
no,
like,
it's not. But listen,
Well, he
here's
films a lot of people. He has said that. That is true.
He wants me. So he here's the deal. I've turned him. I'm not allowed to say. I had to sign non-disclosure. On people that I've turned him on to the interview, right? I've got people that he wants to interview now, right?
So he's giving you money for this non-disclosure?
Yeah, well, but it's come to the point to where I feel like he's just exploiting my people, and I don't know, man, but
can I say something in relation to this real quick before it gets off of that subject? Okay, I seen somewhere that Tyler guy said, or someone said around one of these chats or comments, they said that Mark was in talks of getting a reality TV show filmed for them, and that's what this house was for. He was going to have this house built, I'm sure wired with cameras, and it was going to be filmed a day in the life of whatever Whitaker. I don't know. Use your imagination.
Check this out.
But he told people in an email that the Whitakers are under an exclusive contract to where only he has rights to film them, air the footage, blah, blah, blah. Do you believe any of that?
Do I believe it? Well, when I got off the phone with him yesterday, right?
Because they're not competent to
sign
such documents,
One of them is. He is legally competent, okay? But he told me on the phone yesterday he had just gotten off his phone I talked to him for about 35 or 40 minutes on the phone yesterday. And he said that excuse me, y'all. He said he had just gotten a hold of a couple of his attorneys, right? He didn't say what about. But look, man, I really kind of owe him a public apology because I had been shitting on him since they had told me that's all they had gave him, right? But here's what I'm going to do for him, though, man. And it's not going to be filmed, it's not going to be put out, nothing like that for content. One of my friends works at 84 Lumber. I went down there and talked to the manager. No, I'm on Zans, but I'm not on bars. Anyway,
there's a hard-hitting question in the chat. I like it.
Anyway, I went and I went to 84 Lumber, talked to them. They said they would donate all the wood for a brand new deck for their house, right? And there's another guy that's on YouTube, and his name's BMF Ranger. Shout out him. He's a dope guy. He was an Army Ranger. Now he's in the deck business, and he's going to come and do the deck work. I got the lumber provided for it. He's going to come and do the deck work. This isn't for show for YouTube or nothing like that. It's just these are they're just worth helping, man.
Hey, that ain't true in the chat. I'm not on bars.
Yeah, I'm definitely on Xanax, but I'm on Xanax, gabapentin, a little bit.
I got a fun fact. My rescue cat, has some type of medical condition, I have to give her gabapentin orally through a little syringe.
Yeah, man, those things have been a lifesaver for me at a time, bro. At times, uh,
Let me ask you this, Weavy, about this Mark guy, right? Hone in on this. Now, we're saying right now, the comment in the chat earlier was saying that he's made a lot of money from exploiting
he
drug addicts,
has made
other
a lot
groups
of
of people,
money.
people going through it. Now, with that being said, now let's go into fantasy land, right? Birdman drug stories fucking takes the fuck off out of left field somewhere. YouTube all of a sudden agrees with my vulgar attitude and my horrible views on things, right? And they launch me to the top of YouTube. I got millions of subscribers, right? And now I'm making a bunch of money. Now I can quit my job. I don't got to work at the dealership. I can basically have no job where this
Jay
would be my
Williams
job, right?
level, right?
All right. I'm making all this money, but, am I doing the same thing as he's doing? Am I not doing similar things? I'm having people come on and tell their drug stories, talk about their tragedies, talk about.
You are doing you are really actually, the difference between you and Mark, kind of
I
right
ain't
now.
getting paid.
Well, okay, so Mark, he worked for L'Oreal, Coca-Cola, all these people, and all these PR campaigns, and doing all the photography for him for years, and he was already set up with money to make this stuff look very professional, right? He's good at what he does. I can't say he ain't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's very, very good at it. I think that he's had underage prostitutes on there, and I don't know if he said.
That's way out of bounds. That's way out of bounds. You shouldn't be having that.
Well, look, there's two things I would have never interviewed on there, right? And
That's one of them.
That's convicted SOs.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this girl's had any kind of parental consent to be on there, right? But she was half dressed, right? I don't think that's cool, right?
It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
By little, I mean a lot.
I was wanting to touch on something real quick. When he asked about me being in recovery or my recovery channel, by no means no, bro. Look, listen, but I do not promote drug use. I am just I'm a partier a couple times a month usually. You know what I mean? And I'm clean compared to what I used to be.
I diagnosed you last night as more of a partier, maybe a weekend warrior, not so much a stone cold drug addict.
I
diagnosed
anymore, bro.
Last night. And then Shantae's asking if I'm in recovery. I haven't. Yeah, I've been clean since I got out of jail. I did a little county bid in summer 7.5 years ago now. Shit, getting closer to 8, but we'll go 7.5 years. I turned my life around after jail. Never did a drug or a drink again. Except for a 420 friendly, but we don't count that. That's my that is my crutch.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I wish I could smoke, bro.
That's the only thing I can do responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Anything else? If I drink, I'm doing coke. If I'm doing coke, I'm doing dope. If I'm doing dope, I'm robbing you. So it's just a chain of events that I know. I've been down that road so many times. I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. In the list of what I can do, there's like one is maybe caffeine. If you count caffeine, and I can't even keep my caffeine intake under control. I'd be having way too much caffeine. I'm just a downright stone cold junkie to the core. So with everything, with Red Bulls, with video games, with shit that ain't even drugs. But yeah, 7.5 years to answer your question, Shantae. Now back to about him getting monetized. Now, if my channel blows up and I'm interviewing people on here talking about their tragedy and their heartbreak and their drug problem and their overdoses and their prison time, if I'm doing that and I'm getting paid on it, right? Am I doing the same thing he's doing? Am I going to be looked at like the bad guy too?
Well, it all depends on what you do. You know what I mean? If you're okay, say you're getting okay. I'll put it to you this way: if you're making okay, say this dude has got hundreds of millions of views, right? Okay, if you're not giving back to the cause of recovery and stuff like that, You know what I mean? I would say at least 20%, right? Uh, I think then I think that will make you kind of shitty. You know what I mean? And look, I love to hear a recovery story, people. I love it. Wishbone, what's up, brother? Like,
You
there's
know
a
what I
good
would do,
man.
Weave. You know what I do if I hit big and like got like fucking just a ton of money somehow from YouTube. You know what I would do? The first thing I would do after like, of course, like getting a house for myself, like the first big purchase. You could call it an investment, but it really be my dream come true. What do you think I would do if I came across that type of money?
I mean, I think you would help people.
Yep. All right. So Cree, we're going to you. What do you think I would do? And Weavy is right, but Cree, be more specific. What do you think I would do in terms of helping people? Because I have something specific in mind. It's always been my dream since I got clean.
Well, I know for a fact you have already pitched in on your former sober living facility. You
Yeah,
have
Michael's
tried
house.
to raise candle donations and manufacturing for people that were in your boat once years ago. Like, you really supported the underdog. So you already been doing shit like that, but I think you would go.
But if I had
elevated
money
with
though,
it.
I did that with the little bit that I had. I did what I could with crumbs. I'm saying if I have I hit the not the lottery, but like the YouTube lottery.
Yeah.
Man, I think you'd make a show probably.
I would get a sober house. I'll get, depending on how much money I had first, I want to get a sober house, like a Birdman drugstore sober house, Birdman sober house, or whatever. I don't know what the name would be.
Well,
I'd have to come
if
up
you're
with a
putting up
Birdman
money, you can
drugstore
also
site.
get grants to help out with that too. So,
Maybe a detox,
Clean
you know
up
what?
Kensington,
I
maybe?
wouldn't want to deal with the detox side thing. I'll let the
oh no, I
deal
wouldn't want to
detox.
deal with the detox side, bro.
I want to go rehab. Once they're done with detox, they get into the rehab. I want to have a rehab, and then from that rehab, then have like a nice sober house. You know what I mean?
Put them in the military.
And if I have it in Massachusetts, or if I have it in a 420 friendly state, if I open one back in Massachusetts, which is probably what I would do, or at least in a 420 friendly state, I would let, after 6 months of being in the program, I'd let them smoke weed. It would be their choice.
Yeah. Hey, there's that's as long as
I know
they
that
were
might be
being tested,
controversial
as
to
long
say
as
in
they
the
were being
recovery
tested,
community,
bro,
but
for nothing other than weed, bro. That's a different story. You know what I mean? I think that's a great idea. If I ever got, to that, how many subs you got?
only like 2,700.
Okay, so that's still good. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm getting ready to hit 10K, right? Which is nothing to me. You know what I mean? To me, it's nothing. But but I remember when I was at 600, 700, 800, whatever, 550, and 2,000 was like a million to me. But you're doing great, bro. You're all over the place, man. I've heard your name since the day I started on here.
That's crazy to me, bro. I think like, damn, like my friends don't even watch my channel, bro. Motherfuckers are in the stories though. I send them to them. Motherfuckers they don't put
And
a
I'm
like.
like, who is
like
this
some
guy?
shit.
And I never went to check him out, man. And I should have, considering my past and my, what my present actually. You know what I mean? Look, I go to my doctor. I'll be a slave to the pharmaceutical industry till the day I die. That's a fact.
I respect the honesty. You've accepted it. Does your life unmanageable because of the prescriptions that you take? Does your life become unmanageable because of
No,
your
bro, not at all.
So to be a drug addict, your life has to become unmanageable, essentially. And it doesn't have to be financially unmanageable because there's millionaires whose lives can become unmanageable and they still have plenty of money. Unmanageable can be a bunch of different things. But if your life
let
is
me
not
tell you
unmanageable
something, dude.
due
And
to
I'm
your
not
drug abuse, you're not a drug
flexing or
addict.
nothing, dog. But hold on. Do you see this computer back here? If I was in, hold on. Let me get
That
it
shit would
over
be
with.
pawned. I would have pawned it.
Okay, if I was a full blown addict, right?
I would have pawned the computer.
That shit would be gone. I wouldn't be sitting here with two fucking curved flat screens in front of me and all this equipment, bro.
You got way more YouTube equipment than I got, boy. I would have pawned all that shit if I was doing drugs.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. That's
So it's
why
not what you're saying is it's not unmanageable because you're not out there pawning your YouTube equipment to go get more pills because you took too many of your scripts and shit like that.
No, bro. And even if I want to go get more pills, I have different ways of doing that, bro. Without
Some
having
people
to.
go down that road though, where
They will,
they'll
yeah,
go.
definitely, man. But I make sure that I do not run out of my.
That's why I think that you're not a drug addict, even though you do. I guess you do drugs. I don't know. It's tricky with
Yes.
pharmaceuticals.
Okay. Look, in my mind, I'm still at it because every morning when I wake up, I'm like, boy, I'd like to have a Opana today. That'd be nice, right? I still think that way, right? And
Yeah, excuse me too.
but uh, sounds like I am too. I don't get what Shantae's saying. Shanti. I don't know. I'm just telling y'all the truth, bro. I
They're
don't know.
saying that you're hilarious, Weavy.
Oh,
They're not talking shit. They're saying you're
okay.
hilarious. They said I'm hilarious, which is a well-known fact here on Birdman
Okay.
Drug Story. But they're saying you're
But
hilarious
sometimes
too.
they can be saying that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this motherfucker's a bullshit, and he's hilarious because he's bullshit." But uh,
Weavy,
TNT in
guys,
here knows me well.
I'm jealous of guys like you, Weavy. Jealous of guys like you because my addict side wishes that I could get a script and just use it like a normal adult, but once I had that script, bro, it says take one every 8 hours. I'd be taking 8 every hour. Like it's I got no control. It's my problem.
This is the magic box, baby.
Hey, what is Opana or Opana?
Old
Opana
school
is
painkiller.
oxymorphone. It's one of the most potent painkillers ever made. My box jumped up on me, but it's one of the most. It's okay. The lot it's hydromorphone. Uh, Opana is oxymorphone. So anything with the oxy in front of it is more. It's got a little more power than anything with something hydro in front of it. So, uh, but I need to really start sharing you out, bro. Uh, man, I get down. Plus, like you said, the crazy thing is, man, is we at one point in time, different points in time, I worked 2 dealerships down from you.
Yo, Cree, you hear that? He worked 2 dealerships down from where I currently work at. Like I could throw a baseball and hit the fucking building from where he used to work at, but it was before I ever moved down here.
And
Yep.
you two have never bumped into each other in town or
No,
anything?
because by the time I moved down here, he already moved away.
Yeah.
So where are you currently at now, Weavy?
I'm back in southern West Virginia, the belly of the beast, bro.
Okay,
This
so
is
you're
where
not
they
in North
tested the
Carolina.
oxys in the coal fields of West Virginia because of all the mine-related injuries.
That's actually on the OxyContin Express documentary I named last night's episode. I went back and changed the title to
Yeah.
OxyContin Express, and that's actually from the original OxyContin Express. You're right; they were the miners, and they were the first ones that got hooked on the oxys, and that's where it all kind of started. And then Florida came into play for distribution.
They that what when like I said back in okay, so before they hit in the late 90s, they were testing them here in we'll say mid 90s, right? People don't think oxy's coming around or we're even they've been around a
They
long
were
time,
out.
bro, but
They
they just
weren't
I
a they
haven't
remember
weren't a
they were
big
nine
problem. They weren't
no
a
milligrams.
big push.
they just haven't been on the market,
Yeah.
and Opana's been around for since the 60s, 70s,
Dang, I didn't
stuff
know
like
that.
that. It's just this stuff wasn't brought out till the pill epidemic came around. Which let me tell you, everybody in here something. This is facts, man. I didn't mean to take over your show, dog. I feel stupid.
No, you're good, man. Let's talk about the pill epidemic. That's what we
The
talked
pill
about.
epidemic. Here we go. Right.
If you came up here talking some bullshit that wasn't drug related, then I'd have to probably start the background music and but you want to talk some drug talk, you're in the right
So
fucking
yeah,
spot.
we'll definitely talk to drug talk. They tested it here, man. When I left, I never knew what an OxyContin was. When I started coming back to visit, this whole place had changed from the place that I grew up at, right? I loved it here when I was a child, man. There was no better place to go. You know, you had the mountains, all the creeks and rivers that run through it, just nothing but nature. Beautiful. You did it was just different, man. And now people are just afraid, basically, to let their kids out of their house, bro.
There's
Uh,
drug addicts everywhere because of the pills.
yeah, man. And but here's the thing with the pills, though. What people don't get, and you can go back and look at the statistics, man. If they would have kept the, no, I'm not saying pill mills, but pain clinics, a few of them that were operating mostly by law. You know, at least you had to have some kind of injury, blah blah blah, that required. But there's a lot of people that can't even get pain medicine at all, man, and they have to go to the methadone clinic just to get relief, right?
Chicago Dave, friend of the channel, he's one of them. He goes to the methadone clinic because he's got lots of health issues, so that helps him with the pain.
Bro, yeah, it's one of the only things a lot of people can get, but there were nowhere near the overdoses then as there are now. And like I told you last night, the last time I got arrested, the state trooper agreed with me. I said, "Y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up." And now y'all got the biggest, because I was sitting there fucking chained up to a tweaker, bro. And I'm like, damn, you know? I mean, I'm talking about I was handcuffed to another tweaker.
They ruined the drug. They ruined
not
the drug
another
game. All the
tweaker, but a
fentanyl
tweaker.
shit. I'm glad that I got all the drug game when I did 7.5 years ago, because I'll tell you what, the drug game has completely fallen off the map. You know, back in the fun days, you got good coke, good ecstasy. You don't got to worry about fentanyl. It would be a one in a million chance that you get a bad bag of coke that would kill your ecstasy that had fentanyl, and it'd be a 1 in a billion chance back in the day. Now,
man.
Today the chances are what? Might be one in 10. Might be 1 in 6. Who the fuck knows? Depends where you're at. But the chances ain't good, and the chances are good that it's going to take you out, because that's what it's made to do.
2 times I've been on a live stream, right? Somebody comes knocking on my door. 2 different times. Way too different, like probably 7 months in between. First night somebody comes knocking on my door. It's my aunt. She said somebody's up in the laundromat at my apartments in the floor dying, right? Overdosing, right? So I hurried up and grabbed a bag of popsicles out of my freezer and
I called
Narcan.
Cap in the chat that nobody burned a 50-gallon drum of $1 bills in it because they had too much money. You think you've seen that on the Pablo Escobar documentary or something? I don't know about that one. Sorry.
There's some people, man, it's had so much money, though, they had to do stuff like that with it. That is true. I've heard of, but I've never seen it. But, you know what I mean?
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
I would have just buried it. But anyway, where was I at, bro? Help me out here. I'm.
Oh, my bad. I wanted to call Cap out on the chat, but maybe not. Maybe she did see it. I don't know what she saw.
Oh, okay.
She didn't see it.
But maybe like I was saying, the statistics show that okay, so the heroin, it wasn't as bad. Then the fentanyl come in, then the carfentanil come in, and now they got whatever else they're putting in it, right?
You think they got some like super fentanyl probably by now?
Well, they're putting that phenibut, or xylazine. They're putting that shit in with it too, and
the zombie shit.
Yeah, bro. It's all just got crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's not.
It don't even sound fun, bro. It's like drugs.
No, man. I don't want something that eats holes in my body, dog. I don't.
Yeah, why would I want that?
Look, man. My cousin, she's locked up right now. She's she's doing a 1 to 10, and she was sentenced about 3 months ago. Oh yeah, I definitely was at the pill mills. You know, she
yeah, I thought that Kay had seen it, like had seen someone burning 50-gallon drums or something. It's fucking crazy.
But yeah, anything in the drug game, when people's getting mad money like that, it's hard to tell. You know what I mean?
Hey, Weavy, speaking of mad, I might have a mad pregnant wife in the other room. We're at 1 hour and 9 minutes and 20 seconds. we're about to wrap it up. I gotta go hang out. My pregnant wife might have to like rub her feet or something. You know what I mean? And she's not feeling good because she's about to have a baby next month. So gotta go take care of the old wifey. But I want to thank you for coming on, Weavy. Thanks for coming on the stream last night. It really helped my channel, man. I got lots of extra viewers and new viewers and people that would have never seen my channel if not for you coming on. So I want to thank you while you're here for that. Thanks for coming up tonight. Also, Cree, always a pleasure. Cree's from the old school Ryan Leone days. Me and Cree 901 cross paths. He's been a friend of the channel ever since. So we've been telling these drug stories since the pandemic of 2020, and we're gonna keep on doing that shit right until we're fucking out.
Cree, come on over to my channel anytime, bro. You can come over and we can talk about the Whitakers, dog. I've got it.
He's doing a Whitakers live tonight.
Yeah, I'm finna go live here in a few minutes.
I'm doing one at 11:40.
Well, I'll come up to yours then.
Yeah,
You guys
either
should
which
do
way.
it together. Do a Whitakers together. I'll listen to it on my ride to work in the morning. I sold 1.5 cars today and one yesterday. I gotta keep the hot streak going at work.
Keep it going, dog.
Tonight, we're out.
Hey, man, salute to you. Thank you for having me up, man.
Yeah, man. I keep that hot streak going, boy.
Yes,
Family
sir.
needed it.